UMen recommends. Access umen.uk.net. Today's UMen recommendation is a tribute to all scientists with disability. This historical feature with the late geographer Dr. Reginald Golledge introduces the first GPS system developed for blind navigation. It was aired over 20 years ago on ABC's program Beyond 2000.
Negotiating your way around an unfamiliar city, you certainly need your wits about you. And having a good sense of direction means using all your senses, particularly sight. So imagine trying to get around a strange place blindfolded. It's a daunting prospect, but it's a scenario that constantly faces those visually impaired. But soon their earthbound travels will be easier, thanks to some high-flying heavenly bodies.
Okay, it's coming through.
Professor Reg Golledge is gearing up to take a walk with the world's first satellite navigation system for the blind. Although still a bulky prototype, this clever device talks Reg through his travels. A series of numbered beacons placed around campus map out an electronic pathway. And you can hear it calling the number of the path Reg is travelling.
Switching waypoint. 3.
The unit also indicates relevant landmarks, for example, the bike stands. And by making the sound appear to come from a particular direction, it can indicate where it's located. A professor of geography at the University of California, Reg Golledge literally went blind overnight 10 years ago from a degeneration of the optic nerve in both eyes. The tragedy left him extremely depressed, but two colleagues at the university decided they could help by keeping him in touch with his research.
I knew that he had interest in some of the problems that we now are working on, and that he had lost his sight about a year before. So I approached him with the idea of creating some type of navigation device using virtual acoustics.
The collaboration resulted in this highly accurate navigation unit. Virtual acoustics is like visual virtual reality. But instead of using sight cues to perceive the environment around you, this technique relies on sound. It works by using one of the most sophisticated navigation tools available, the Global Positioning System, or GPS, which consists of 24 satellites orbiting the Earth. By receiving signals from 8 satellites, as well as a local base station, it's possible for the device to pinpoint its position to within a metre.
We made it again. Right on.
Satellite signals are received here, and they're cross-checked by additional information from the base station, which is picked up by this antenna. That data is then fed into the computer, which already has a digitised map of the area I wish to explore. In this case, it's the university campus, with the backpack's position plotted in relation to the surrounding buildings, and the twists and turns of the connecting paths. But it's not only the GPS which keeps the system on course.
On top of the headphones, we have the FluxGate compass, which is a solid-state compass that enables us to keep track of the direction that the observer's head is turning. And that way, the virtual auditory display can compensate for the head turning so that the sound of the destination or the waypoint will come to him from the proper direction relative to his body, despite any turning of his head.
It certainly gives Reg the confidence to move around freely. But how effective is the unit for someone unfamiliar with the campus?
Switching waypoint.
Now this could be an interesting exercise. Luckily, it's familiar territory to Reg.
I have faith in you.
Through these headphones, a synthesized voice is giving me information on my surroundings. It's quite incredible, really. It's almost as though the buildings are talking to you. The library's over there and admin's over there. And on top of all of this, my destination beacon has a number, in this case 2, and as I'm getting closer towards it, it becomes louder. Now this system takes a bit of getting used to. But once you have the hang of it, it helps you build up a very clear mental picture of the exact layout of the landscape. Going all right?
We're going right. Very well indeed.
Fully developed, the device will be light and compact. And off this way.
All right.
And will not only help the blind, but also those who find themselves in all kinds of unfamiliar territory. Tourists, for example, will only have to load in the relevant area map, and they'll always know where they are and where they're going. Of course, for the visually impaired, the system represents much more.
It's going to mean more freedom, more freedom to explore. It's going to mean an ability to do something spontaneously for a change, rather than being straitjacketed and have to follow rigid paths along with guides all the time. You can start thinking about heading for a destination, and since you know what else is in the environment, you can change your mind. Something that's very difficult for a blind traveler to do.
In the future, it's possible that even the visually impaired will become adventurous tourists, exploring uncharted territory with confidence rather than fear.
Did you like this recommendation? Hit the like button and subscribe to the UMan channel.